morning, I'm Ariana Delphin. The First Amendment is something that every American citizen practices on a daily basis. I was given the question, how are the limitations of students' rights an illustration of the First Amendment in U.S. public schools? The First Amendment is the freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of press, freedom to assemble, and freedom to petition. My solution to this was the First Amendment rights are often limited throughout U.S. public schools in order to prevent chaos. Essentially, the limitation of these rights depend on the type of expression. In the court case Bethel v. Fraser, a student gave a speech in front of hundreds of his peers. During the speech, he used very sexual language. The school deemed this disruptive due to obscene language. In the court Skiles v. Marinu, a student wore a shirt saying George W. Bush on it, and many drug and alcohol references on it that also said chicken hawk and chief. The school said that this violated school's policies against alcohol and other drugs, but the student argued that he was wearing the shirt not to promote drugs or alcohol, but to promote politics. In the court case Tinker v. Des Moines, students wore black armbands in protest to peace in the Vietnam War. The school said that if they were to wear these armbands that they would be suspended, which they were, but the court said that this did not violate anyone else's rights or disrupt the learning environment for other students. This brings me to the counterclaim time, place, and manner, which also ties into the Tinker v. Des Moines case. There's a time and place for everything, and the school was saying basically that it was not the time and place, but the court then came back at it with the fact that they weren't disrupting or limiting anybody else's rights. My conclusion is that the limitations in public schools are put forward to protect students and their learning environment. And for example, in the Tinker v. Des Moines case, by wearing the black armbands, nobody was distracted or their rights neither were taken away from them. So their learning environment was still protected. Thank you. What are your questions?
All right, 2 questions for you. What information did you need before you began your research, and how did that information shape your research?
I knew that before I started this research, I would need a good amount of examples of court cases that I would be referencing in the presentation. What was the second part?
Just how did it shape it? How did it shape your research?
While I was reading on some court cases, I kind of switched my counterclaim and my conclusion a lot, depending on the court cases. Like Tinker v. Des Moines was a big one that influenced my counterclaim and conclusion.
Why that particular one?
Because it went really hand in hand with time, place, and manner.
Okay, and next question. What advice would you have for other researchers doing this topic?
I think kind of to take more time into looking into more sources and perspectives on the different sides, such as school officials, students, parents, and all of that, because I feel like it would have played a big role into time, place, and manner in public schools.
All right, you're done. Breathe.